So hold on, let me just see here. Aha, there we go. We had the Sam cam up and running over here, but we didn't have it again. So I should tell you again, broadcasting live from the WDCE studios. And then there goes the California raisin. Anyways, broadcasting live from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond. You're listening to 90.1 FM. Once again, from the most trusted pulpit and media, reporting since Roswell, Sam Newsman. Shout out to Ms. Mary Murr. And shout out to Luke, both of them beating cancer in 2023. Cancer free in 2023. That's the hashtag. Cancer free 2023. That's the hashtag for this morning and should be for everybody. So if you are, and I'm telling you what right now, and when you go through processes like that, it can wear and tear and put a toll on you, both mentally and physically. But if you just stick to it, with thoughts and prayers and hard work, making sure that you have some great doctors, then guess what? You can get through anything. Yes, you can get through anything. And so definitely cancer-free, hashtag cancer-free 2023. And that should be the theme of the show this morning. Yeah, absolutely. Of course, everybody wants me to, talk about some other things. And of course I will. I will talk about some other things, including the news. But I figure you might as well just get those things out of the way first. And not to just get out of the way, but to highlight. Because those are the things you should be highlighting. Yeah, the blessings of life. Yeah, hashtag cancer-free 2023. But anyways, yeah, so what is it? It is the 21st day of January in the year 2023. It's 9:15 here on the East Coast. Not sure exactly where all of you are, but we are broadcasting live on WDCE 90.1 FM. WDCE 90.1 FM. That's a real radio station. Yeah, so if you were in your car, and you were driving down the road, you'd be able to hear my beautiful voice coming through your radio. But then you would sit there and say, well, Sam, I want to be able to see your voice. Well, I mean, not see my voice, but see where the voice is coming from. And of course, I would tell you that what you need to do is you need to log on to Instagram, at Sam Newsman on Instagram. We're also at Sam Newsman over here on YouTube. Shout out to MCDJACDC. I'll try to say that 3 times fast. Shout out to Delmas over here as well. Toying around 77. Let me see who is Bud the Heart Guy. Yes. And Casper. Shout out to Casper as well. You familiar with Casper? And Casper has a bunch of amazing Ninja Turtle. He has a bunch of Ninja Turtle photography. He's a big Ninja Turtle fan. Yeah, just like, well, can I call him Simps? I can call him Simps, right? Everybody got upset last week because I was talking about Motu Simps. And then all of a sudden I get a bunch of hate mail telling me that, well, you're picking on me and you're a bully and all this other nonsense. And here the reality is that I pick on all of them. I have the Motu Simps, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Simps. We definitely know about the Transformer Simps, the G.I. Joe Simps, all of them. Toy Simps, hashtag Toy Simps. No, listen, I'm a fan of toys. Look at it. I have a bunch of toys right here, including the Golden Giraffe. And, I have some Motu. Look, I even brought a Funko Pop. Everybody sat there and got upset because I was picking on Funko Pops with their dead shark eyes. But here we go. I do have a Funko Pop. Stop looking at me like that, Orko. With those dead old shark eyes. I want to sit there and think that I'm just going to sit there and pick on everybody. So, devoid of logic, Sam Newsman, been enjoying your shorts. Shorts? What do you mean my shorts? I'm wearing pants right now. It's cold outside. What are you talking about shorts? Oh, wait a minute. I know shorts. Oh, you're talking about the YouTube or the things I've been posting. Yeah, so I've been posting every single day. That was one of the things that we did want to start doing this year. I have at least 1 news article a day. Sometimes I might do 2. Goal is eventually maybe to get it up to 3. But as far as the shorts go, and we're not talking about my attire. No, I do wear long pants. Long pants that then come to these amazing Jordans that I have. Right? Yeah, no, I'm actually wearing Jordans. Yeah, maybe you might be able to see those over there on the Sam cam. Maybe. Kind of. But anyways, here I am. Big M. Shout out to Big M. But I'm shouting out people because people are wondering, well, this is an interactive show. It's an interactive show. Once again, you can call the phone number, 804-289-UR90, 804-289-8790. And call me up and I can actually play your favorite cartoon song here on the radio. And tell me where you're getting that anywhere else. Probably nowhere. But yeah, absolutely. So let's see here. See, Casper notices the Jordans, the red and white Jordans. I got these for Christmas. They're red and white because they match Santa Claus. Because who gave them to me? It was Santa. It was Santa. Yes, Santa is real. I don't want to hear. Listen, if you ever sit there and someone tells you that Santa Claus is not real, you just tell them to listen to my show. And I'll tell them immediately that Santa Claus is real. You know how I know that Santa Claus is real? Is because the U.S. government takes your tax dollars and actually uses NORAD to follow him around. So, I mean, if that doesn't tell you and prove that Santa Claus is real, then I don't know what does. Your tax dollars fund the ability for the U.S. government to track Santa. So don't give me all this other stuff about that Santa's a myth and he's not real. Well, he's on vacation right now, probably surfing somewhere down in the Bahamas, which I don't blame him. You have to go around to every single house and drop off a bunch of toys. I mean, what would you do in January? Take your fat tail down to the Bahamas and go surfing, right? Sipping Mai Tais, right? G.I. Joe Simps galore, says Mark Cosplay. See, Mark Cosplay knows about the Simps. Motu Simps, Joe Simps, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Simps, Transformer Simps. Who else we have? Ghostbuster Simps. Of course, they're all going to get butt hurt. Probably saying, oh, well, you're picking on me again. No, you're such a bully. You're such a bully, Sam. No, listen, if you just can't take a joke, if you can't take a joke and you think that I'm calling you out, I've been calling all these collector simps for years. Just like any collector that takes their figure, opens it out of plastic, and then puts it behind glass. You know what that's called? It's called a soulless detolf. Somebody sit there and said, well, you're signaling me out. No, I'm not signaling you out. If you just got upset because I called and said that you had a soulless detolf, well, you know what? Maybe you just need to sit there and think about it for a few moments. Because I've been saying this for years, talking about soulless detolfs. So, yeah, Brave Star Simps. Yep, Brave Star Simps. Silverhawk Simps. What else? It's Inspector Gadget Simps. Go ahead, White Vegeta. Let's go ahead and let's do the whole list. GoBot Simps. But wait a minute. The Rock Lords. No such thing as a Rock Lord Simp. You know why? Because Rock Lords are just far superior than anything else. No, I mean it. I mean, Rock Lords are so superior. I mean, you know what a Rock Lord is, right? Yeah, a Rock Lord is like having a plastic pet rock that transforms. I mean, I don't know if anything else is bigger and better than that. So, Simps all over the place. 80 nostalgia Simps, whatever. All hail Rock Lords. So what about the new movies on Evil Santa and Winnie the Pooh? Very scary. I don't watch scary movies. I don't really watch scary movies, because I'd have nightmares. I'd have nightmares, and I would have nightmares. Another thing I have nightmares about is opening up an action figure out of plastic. Whoa, wait a minute. Oh, do we have it? Is that okay? Is everything all right over there? Now it looks like the feed's all messed up. Hold on, maybe it's going to get back up here in just a moment. Now it's probably lagging because there was some kind of. Hold on, let's see here. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know. Maybe it's going to come back again. I'm not really sure what happened there. But anyways, oh no, the signal's gone weak. That's what that's what White Vegeta said. Hold on, let me just see if I can. Well, I'll reset the signal here. But we are broadcasting live here on WDCE. They say they can't hear me. All right, hold on just a moment, fellas. No sound, no sound. Hello, hello. They can't hear me anymore. Hold on. Let me see if I can do this real quick. I have to start all over again. Hold on. What happens? What are you guys doing back there in the back anyway? All right, hold on just a moment. Just a moment. There we go. All right, let's see here. Make sure that there's nothing else that's going to go off here. I'm not even sure why that happened. Aha, I see. I see. There we go. This is what happens when you're doing things live. All right, there we go. I think we're back up and running now. Not exactly sure what happened. There was an alarm that was set over here on one of these cameras. What are you guys doing back over there? right? What are you guys doing? Anyway, so just to let you all know, if there is any type of disruption here, there's any type of disruption here on Instagram, that's why we are broadcasting live on YouTube as well. So we're broadcasting live over here in YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. So there is a signal coming out from Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube over here. And then we also have the Instagram, the Samcam. Samcam just went crazy because an alarm went off. Well, why do you have an alarm set for Saturday morning? Don't you have you got this thing straight? We had a caller call in a couple of weeks ago that's just messing up the feeds. Anyways, there we go. White Vegeta's coming back on in. But this is what happens. I'm a real media puppet, a broadcast professional, but I tell you what, sometimes there's disruptions. What do you mean, Lord Blanket? So, what do you mean, Lord Blanket? No such thing as Lord Blanket. Lord Blanket's a myth. I've been hearing all this stuff over the last couple of weeks since Christmas just after Christmas, something about Lord Blanket. I don't know a Lord Blanket. No such thing. No such thing as a Lord Blanket. So, but anyway, shout out to White Vegeta. Yes, we're back live on Instagram and Animal Mother Customs. See you down there as well. So sorry about that. I'm not exactly sure what happened. Well, probably what it is. I'm getting censored because I bully people and I talk about Motu and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and G.I. Joe simps. And then I talk about Soulless Detolf. And probably the most scariest thing around is when you take an action figure out of plastic and then you just put it behind glass. Yeah, you might as well at that point just keep it in the plastic at that point. But anyways, I digress. What is going on over here? Yes. So I do have the newspaper, of course. So let me see here. I do have of course, of course I bring in the newspaper every week. So Murphy's Law always comes into effect during live streaming. That's really great. That's a great observation. But we are here. We are here on Instagram, at Sam Newsman on Instagram, Sam Newsman on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. It says Twitter, because one of the things that I've been doing is I've been trying to get this thing to work on Twitch. I mean, I do have a Twitch account, and I should be live streaming on Twitch at the same time. But every time I go back to Twitch to see if there was a video that was uploaded, I don't see one. I have to figure out what that's all about. Anyway, so here we are, Richmond Times-Dispatch. Of course, I was going to grab this. I noticed something that was very interesting. I almost got the Washington Post. Also got the Washington Post. Shout out to Triple D. But I almost got the Washington Post. But one of the things that caught my attention, there was a bunch of Spider-Men. With yogurt. No, Spider-Man. So there's a bunch of Spider-Man. It says spiders get bitten by rival Rams. Ouch. That hurts. University of Richmond's fans cheer for their team with Spider-Man costumes as the Spiders face VCU in an Atlantic 10 game at the Robins Center as the Rams dominated their crosstown rivals for a conference victory. VCU's 10th win in the past 11 meetings with the University of Richmond. Well, that's bad news. I mean, here we are broadcasting live out of the University of Richmond, and on the front page of the Times-Dispatch is a bunch of people in Spider-Man outfits. And then the line at the bottom says that they lost to the VCU Rams. My goodness. Good grief. I thought it was going to be good news. That's probably why I should have maybe read the headline or read the little blurb before I bought it. Then I probably would have picked up the Washington Post, so I wouldn't have to read bad news on the radio here at the University of Richmond. Probably people are still stung from that anyway. I thought the Spider-Man thing had to do with runners competing. No, because that's what the article says next to it on the newspaper. It says something about, right. Well, no, it does. It says something about top distance runners compete here. Well, that's what I thought it was. I thought it was a bunch of people in Spider-Man outfits that were going to be running around. That's what I thought. So, but yes, here we are. Yes, we are back. We are back, Mark Cosplay. Shout out to Mark Cosplay. Also, we have, what is it? Nimai Customs? Yes. Sports are a distraction to keep people thinking about the way the government screws us all up. Yeah, but it's a good distraction, just like action figures and toys. And then I have people send me hate mail saying, "Oh, well, we just do this for fun, and you're such a bully, Sam." And it's like, well, wait a minute, hold on. I'm just sitting there just talking. I'm just talking and having a great time here on the radio. Now, if you get butthurt and you get upset just because I'm sitting there talking smack about your favorite action figures or your soulless DTOF, that's on you once again. That's on you once again. And you say, well, you think you're better than everyone, Sam? Well, of course. Of course. Well, here I am. I'm a real media puppet. I'm a real media puppet. I watch UFC too. Yes, I'm guilty. I'm guilty. We do need a distraction. I'm a big fan of UFC too. And one of the things about UFC is that, I started watching it because of the women, right? Yeah, well, growing up, you would just sit there and you see cat fights in the middle of, in the middle of a high school, in the middle of the hallway, slamming up against lockers and all that other stuff. But then all of a sudden, you see these women get in the UFC cage. Man, don't want to mess with them. They'll throw you right through your soulless DTOF, right? Break all your figures. And then what are you going to do? Then you're going to sit there and say that it's all Sam's fault. So it's all Sam's fault because he's picking on people and thinks he's better than everybody. Well, what's this way? Oh, good grief. Good grief. When did smack talking all of a sudden become something to where I get hate mail about? I've been doing this for 5 years, calling everybody simps and talking about soulless DTOF, and now I'm starting to receive hate mail. Maybe I guess that means that I'm finally doing something right. So, but anyways, Kane will run for Senate re-election. I've got a whole lot more to do, he says. Senator Tim Kaine? He's with a senator here in Virginia. So, but he said, I wish my figures had half the attitude that you do, my friend. Well, thank you. It's just all in good fun. Anybody that sits there and takes it too seriously, well, once again, you need a Google butthurt report. Fill it out, send it up to me. Google, yes, go to Google, type in the words butthurt report. There's a form that comes up. And it says, well, and you get to fill it out. And it says, well, I'm hurt. I'm offended. I'm upset. For what? Oh, because somebody said something online and somebody posted something. And listen, I just want to get to the news. But I thought I'd bring up about hate mail because I guess when I start receiving hate mail and breakup letters, then I'm doing something right. I'm receiving breakup letters indeed. It's like, writing hate mail to me is like writing a letter to, is like similar to like writing a letter to Alf. You remember Alf? Yeah, it's like writing a letter to Alf saying you're no longer going to watch his TV show because he eats cats. Sheesh. Anyway, Senator Tim Kaine will run for Senate re-election, a relief for Democratic colleagues. This is on the front page of the Richmond Times-Dispatch. Senator Tim Kaine announced Friday in Richmond that he will seek a third term for the U.S. Senate in 2024. I've been really grappling with what to do with respect to my time in the Senate, Kaine told reporters following an economic development roundtable with young Richmond leaders held at Front Porch Cafe on 9 Mile Road. Well, listen, if I would have known he was going to be at the cafe at 9 Mile Road, I would have probably ran over there and tried to see if I could get some kind of response from him. I mean, he sits there and talks to these human media puppets all the time. And I say human media puppets because that's what people call them. And here I am, a real media puppet. So, but Kaine, 64, with his wife, former Virginia First Lady and State Education Secretary Ann Holton, at his side, called an 8-year decision that involves 2 years of campaigning and 6 more years to serve if he wants. I'm a servant. I love Virginia. I'm proud of what I've done. And I got a whole lot more to do, Kaine said. So it's going to be very interesting to see who exactly he runs against. Probably Nick Freitas. Is that going to be Nick Freitas? I don't know. But if it is Nick Freitas, then you heard it here first. I don't have any inside information or intel. But I can at least say that it was maybe Nick Freitas. I'll say it first. You heard it. I heard it here first. It's going to be Nick Freitas versus Tim Kaine. It might be somebody else, but I just figured I would just say that out of the gate. But anyways, 9:33 here on the 21st day of January in the year 2023. I'm waiting for Dave to give me a call because Dave, Deep Cut Dave, Deep Cut Dave. Deep Cut Dave sends me a list of cartoon themes and some things that maybe nobody has ever heard before. Yeah, he sent me a list this week, which was very interesting. I have it all set up here, ready to go. But I need Dave to give me a call here because I listen. There's some of these things that I don't know about, right? I have no clue what some of these things are. So, but I definitely want to get into them. So maybe Dave, Dave might be working too. Well, he's a busy guy. Definitely a busy guy. But yeah, so here I am. I'm looking at this right now. Yeah, I have the whole list here of. I was pretty shocked by this one. Right, so I have a couple of things here, but I mean, maybe we'll give Dave a few more moments to see if he's going to call in. But shout out to Hypercube as well. But yeah, here we are once again broadcasting live WDCE 90.1 FM out of the University of Richmond. You download the Simple Radio app, search WDCE. You can listen to the show live and all of its broadcast radio glory with no hiccups the way that we have over here on Instagram. Like I said, I am broadcasting over here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, it says. At least that's what it says over here. It says Twitter. Okay, so I think that Dave is calling in now. So let me just go ahead and see if I can take this phone call. Dave, are you there?
Barely, but I'm here.
Well, it is Saturday, so you probably had a long week. I hope it was a great week, but I want to thank you once again for calling in and giving us all a little bit of an education this morning. You sent me a list last week, and it was very interesting because one of the things that stuck out right out of the gate was a cartoon. Now, people are familiar with sitcoms, and there's always a sitcom that everybody remembers, but a very popular sitcom back in the 70s was Laverne and Shirley, a very popular sitcom. However, you sent me the opening sequence. It looks like it says from 1981 of Laverne and Shirley in the Army. Can you tell us what Laverne and Shirley in the Army is all about?
Mass insanity is what that. Mass insanity and pure greed, really.
Mass insanity and pure greed. So I guess they were going. I guess they were trying to just capitalize, I guess, on Laverne and Shirley. If I'm not if I'm reading you right, kind of trying to capitalize on Laverne and Shirley, and by doing so, they make a cartoon. Correct?
Yeah. Well, remember earlier they did a Fonz and the Happy Days gang.
Okay, so I think I do have that. I have that up queued up even next. Mork and Mindy, Laverne and Shirley, and Fonz Hour. I see. Yeah. Okay.
Well, the first was Fonz and the Happy Days gang, and then they figured, well, we got other characters, and well, you remember Thundar the Barbarian?
Yes, I remember Thundar. We go back. Yeah, we went to some parties together.
Well, Gary Marshall's why we don't have Thundar anymore.
Wait a minute. What do you mean he's the reason why we don't have Thundar anymore?
Well, apparently Gary Marshall wanted more. He wanted more TV slots, for all of his shows. And ABC figured, okay, well, Thundar, the ratings are okay, but we could probably make twice as much money with the Gary Marshall show, so let's just cancel it.
They just canceled it just right out of the gate, just like that.
Yeah.
Well, that's depressing. I just thought maybe Thundar just lost his six-pack and maybe put on a T-shirt and some sweatpants and just was like, all right, I'm done.
No, more shows for Gary Marshall.
Gotcha. So as far as this, so they did Mork and Mindy. There's a Mork and Mindy cartoon, right? Mork and Mindy cartoon.
They did, yeah.
And then a Fonz Hour, a Fonz cartoon. So
Laverne and Shirley in the Army, the second season, they added the Fonz.
Oh, so the Fonz was a character in the Laverne and Shirley cartoon.
Yeah, apparently he gets back. Because if you remember Fonz and the Happy Days gang, Fonz, Richie, and Ralph Bell, whoever Donnie Most was, they get thrown back in time with a time-traveling diner. Apparently Fonz made it back. Richie didn't, apparently.
Ah, poor Richie. Well, he probably had some new movies to create.
Yeah, well, he finally joined his brother Chuck.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, and where were they?
Who knows?
Who knows? Oh, good.
That's the joke. He had in the first season, Richie had a brother named Chuck Cunningham, and they just wrote him off, and they never mentioned him again.
Ah, okay. So he did join Chuck, off screen somewhere, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. So Fonzie apparently stops time traveling and joins the army.
So Fonz joins the army as well.
Yeah.
And they're really pulling hard for these ones, aren't they? That's
Yeah. And like Laverne and Shirley joined the army, and yeah, it's like their commanding officer is literally a pig.
Oh, wait, a what?
He's a pig that walks and talks.
Like oink 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 pig.
Yeah. And no one finds this unusual.
Is that some kind of like knock to they?
I have no idea.
Well, that's now I'm gonna have to go back and watch this and see. Talk him.
The Fonz, he has Mr. Cool. That's his dog. But I mean, Mr. Cool at least acts like a dog. I mean, he walks on his hind legs occasionally, but he doesn't talk. Laverne and Shirley's sergeant, I mean, he wears a hat. He doesn't wear pants, but he wears a shirt. That just feels like a HR report waiting to happen right there.
An HR report waiting to happen. Indeed. So I got also another request here from Airbender, the Mighty Hercules. What's the Mighty Hercules? Airbeam. Airbender. No, that's the show. Airbeam. Sorry, Airbeam. So sorry, I had the reading this wrong. So Airbeam. Airbeam has the Mighty Hercules. What's the Mighty Hercules all about?
Well, that one aired on NBC 1963 to 1966. 128 episodes.
128. That's quite a run, though, right?
Well, to be fair, most of the episodes were like 5 minutes. So.
Oh, it was one of those, like little shorts.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The last thing I have, of course, is your deep cut. The reason why I was saying Airbender is because this last one is an anime. So here I am looking at this one because it is an anime, and there's two different ones here. But I think I'm just going to play the Japanese one. You sent me two links, one for Fist of the North Star. You have the English opening, which when I listened to it, I don't think there was any lyrics for that one. But then I have Fist of the North Star opening, the actual one from Japan. So talk to me a little bit about Fist of the North Star. I know the name, but give me a little bit in our audience an education about just what is Fist of the North Star and its difference, I guess, between the Japanese version and the American version.
It is pure insanity, and it is wonderful.
Pure insanity and wonderful. So what is it about?
Well, basically, the creators, Buro-san and Tetsuhara, well, they apparently were just sitting around watching Mad Max and thought, hey, wouldn't it be cool if Bruce Lee was in this?
Are you telling me that is a Mad Max with Bruce Lee? Is that what you're telling me?
Pretty much.
Well, then now that sounds incredible. I need to go watch that right away.
Yeah, basically the main character is Kenshiro. He is the titular Fist of the North Star, master of the Hoto no Shinkin. Basically, he punches you and you will explode.
Oh, okay. Sort of like that whole One Punch Man kind of deal.
Yes, and Kenshiro is just ridiculously overpowered. I mean, seriously, he pokes you and you blow up.
Oh, wow. So that sounds pretty serious. Could make probably a couple of jokes.
It is ridiculously violent.
Okay, so listen, I have
from 1984 to 1987, 109 episodes.
I have someone here in the chat saying that it was Dragon Ball in Japan in the 80s before Dragon Ball was Dragon Ball.
That's pretty fair, yeah.
Oh, so fair assessment. Good job, Hypercube. So yeah, so they just made that mention over here. So that's why I wanted to make sure that I brought that up. And okay, well that's good. So you said how long did it run again?
109 episodes.
Okay, now there was a Japanese version and there was also an American version. Same thing, just kind of just a bunch, just been made with voice actors from America, and that's it. Same.
Well, it aired on the Stars, I think, Action Channel back in the early aughts. They only translated the first story arc, though, or first season, if you will.
And how many episodes was that first season?
Oh, I want to say 30, 36 episodes.
Gotcha. Big.
Not bad. That basically sets everything up. It's like, the world's ended, and Kenshiro's girlfriend has been kidnapped by his former best friend Shin, who is a master of Southern Cross. That's like the opposite of Fist of the North Star. And basically, he just goes on a quest to find her.
Well, I have somebody here in the chat. I can't read that big, and I'm not going to read that. But if you want to read what some of the people are saying in chat, make sure you go and you can watch this at Sam Newsman on Instagram. Somebody says, "Be careful not to watch the live-action U.S.-made movie." What's that all about?
Oh God, that one. That's got Kostas Mandelier, Chris Penn, Clint Howard, and a clearly slumming Malcolm McDowell.
And so, what's so bad about it? I guess did they not use the source material? What's so?
Oh boy. Well, let's see here. It's like it's like they try to be faithful, but well, put it this way. I mean, in the show, Kenshiro, it's like it's like he punctures. Like he puts holes in you, and that manipulates your chi, your life energy, basically causing you to swell up and explode.
Good grief!
In the movie, it's like the guy just it's like he's tickling you, and the explosions happen off camera. It's like, yeah, that's kind of silly if you think about it.
I have Cato's Collection here. Shout out to Cato's Collection. Go follow him on YouTube. He says, "I love Fist of the North Star, even like the live action movie. It's so bad, it's good." So it's one of the.
Yeah. But like I said, Malcolm McDowell, he spends pretty much the entire time sitting down.
What's the point of that?
You have me for 2 days. I ain't getting out of this chair.
Oh, you know what? That kind of reminds me of was it what's his name? Conrad. What's his name? Something Conrad. Henry Conrad. Anyways, the guy that was Jake and the Fat Man. You remember Jake and the Fat Man?
Oh yes. William Conrad.
William Conrad. That's what it was. William Conrad. When he was in that show, he was pretty much sitting in every single scene. So just jarred my memory about William Conrad just sitting down as Jake and the Fat Man the whole time. So, but so Fist of the North Star. When did that movie come out?
The live action?
Correct.
The live action, I want to say 94, 95.
Oh man, so it was in the mid 90s. So it had all that cheesy. It was probably so cheesy. I can just imagine.
Like the background is clearly just a sheet.
A sheet. Oh man! Now you have me wondering. I want to go watch this guy just touching somebody and then them exploding, but then now you also have me wondering about someone tickling somebody and watching them explode as well. So you have my mind intrigued. The chat is going bananas right now, talking about it. So they're all fans of the cartoon or the movie or not the movie, but maybe by proxy.
Movie back in the 80s. I saw that before the show. Funny aside, Wally Burr?
Who's Wally Burr?
Well, that's the gentleman. He did the voicing for Transformers, G.I. Joe. Chances are, if it was animated in the 80s, he probably did the voice direction. Well, he did the voice direction and some voices for the first English dub.
Gotcha. If somebody's saying White Vegeta saying the art style is the same as JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. You familiar with JoJo?
It is remarkably similar. In fact, when I saw first time I saw some stills from JoJo, I thought, oh, they're remaking Fist of the North Star. Cool.
Oh, so it's so similar. You thought they were making a new one, huh?
Yeah. Very angular. I mean, like, my God, you could slice cheese on that man's cheekbones.
Slicing cheese on a man's cheekbones. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Well, thank you.
Well, listen, I want to thank you for sending me this list. Now, next week's very interesting because it will be, I believe, is it the 29th or the 28th? Anyways, it will be, I believe, the Saturday that the Royal Rumble is taking place. Am I correct on that?
I believe so. It's usually held in January.
It is held in January, and I do know that you are a wrestling savant. So one of the things that I'd like to talk about next week is the Royal Rumble and just some Royal Rumble stuff, and maybe play some wrestling themes next week,
Okay.
which would be really great. I'm a fan of the Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble is my favorite. It's my favorite, I guess, pay-per-view. Always has been, but I do know that that is next week, and so definitely looking forward to next week talking to you about some wrestling in the Royal Rumble. So get that, I guess, queued up. There you go. That's right. You have Deep Cut Dave, the wrestling savant, going to talk about the Royal Rumble and wrestling next week. Dave, thank you so much for, of course, your list this week. We have Laverne and Shirley in the Army, the Morg Mindy, Laverne and Shirley, and Fonz Hour, the Mighty Hercules by Airbeam, Quest by Airbeam, and of course, Fist of the North Star. We'll play the one with the Japanese lyrics. Okay. So we'll do that one, but maybe I'll play the other one a little bit later on another Saturday, but definitely want to play these, get these going for you. Dave, you have a wonderful rest of the weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.
Okay, see you later, man.
Yep. Everyone, that is Deep Cut Dave. Deep Cut Dave coming in hot with the Fist of the North Star. Shout out to DFS, saw that you joined in the chat. Triple D, of course, Jason Lee. Familiar with Cato's collection? Are you familiar? Shout out to Tiny Plastic Universe. See that as well. Are you familiar with Cato's collection? Yeah, so follow Cato on YouTube. You get all of your Transformers and Transformer Sims. All right, Transformer Sims indeed. Yeah, so Cato knows that I'm just sitting there making fun and just having a good time when I call people Simps, a bunch of toy Simps. But you definitely want to sit there and follow Cato. Cato probably one of the only toy reviewers that I can actually stomach. Well, it's probably because he has that nice, wonderful Southern drawl. It's like a gentleman, right? Yeah, it's a gentleman. Yeah, listen, listen. Anybody with that beautiful Southern drawl, he holds the door open for me. I would say thank you, sir, and they would just sit there and respond, "Well, you're absolutely welcome." And I would just love that. I mean, so shout out to Cato. Shout out to Cato. Follow him as well. Oh, Skydro Walker. You can save 15% when you use the code Skydro. SKYDRO at extremesets.com. Wake and Bake Picture Take here at the end of this show as well. Triple D says that I'm a simp. I'm a simp. Toy Sims. Hashtag Toy Sims 2023. And everybody's starting to send me hate mail just because of it. I've been saying soulless detox now for over 5 years here on the radio. And now I'm just now starting to get hate mail. Just now. It only took people 5 years to finally start sending me hate mail. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. But shout out to all of you. Once again, at Sam Newsman on Instagram. Let's see here. At Sam Newsman on Instagram. At Sam Newsman on Twitter. Sam Newsman on TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. All over the place. Been posting reels up every day. So check those out. It's all sarcasm and jokes, ladies and gentlemen. No, I don't mean any of this. Listen, I got better things to do and worry about than sit there and everybody sitting there complaining and crying. But as far as complaining and crying, I'll get back here on the other side of this break in just a few moments, and I'll be crying and complaining about Davos. I'll be complaining and crying about Davos. Probably have TNT Nate call in, and he'll maybe jinx the Cowboys while he's doing it as well. So we'll be back here in just a few moments. At Sam Newsman on Instagram, at Sam Newsman on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, all over social media. If you get offended and upset, Google the word butthurt report and send that to me. And like I said, I'll just use it as toilet paper. Once again, you're listening to the only radio show dedicated to the magic of Saturday morning, hosted by me, a real puppet. Broadcasting live from WDCE 90.1 FM out of the University of Richmond And once again, from the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday Morning.